everybody, it's me. I just came back from work. My wife is going shopping, so I have a few minutes. So, the first thing is, I had trouble on, where was it? I think on FreeBSD. No, not on FreeBSD. That's not, where was it? I had trouble getting LastPass running. I think Palemoon doesn't get any add-ons, which is okay. And then I had trouble, I think on FreeBSD, to get on Basilisk to get LastPass running. For some reason it just didn't want to. I think it was on FreeBSD. Yeah. And so Sergi, one of my famous subscriber, I should subscribe at his place because he's doing everything. He's doing all the research, giving me the hints and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful to having on board here. And I hope that the whole community here benefits from his ideas and his knowledge. He's a Gentoo guy, and I'm afraid he might also play around with i3 and stuff like that. I know he has his fingers in some distros, and he is lifting his pointing finger a little bit when I'm a little bit too harsh on new distros when I got carried away, which is okay because sometimes we need to be put to north, right, so that we're not too strong. Because when I get carried away, I easily forget that people spend their free time to make something work for others, for community, which is the social idea of human being. That's how we are supposed to be, right? Help each other and stuff like that. So then, just because it didn't work, let's say I have to manipulate it a little bit more into constructive criticism. It is always meant to be constructive, but usually when I run a lot and strong, that means I expected so much. I had huge hopes. But however, I think I mentioned that already in a video or two. Oops. So yeah, so he came along when I said I've got LastPass. He said, you know what about Bitwarden? So I haven't tried it yet. I have to boot up into my FreeBSD. I think I got GhostBSD running in a moment. Because after the NVIDIA install, I killed FreeBSD, I think twice beyond repair, and then GhostBSD twice. And GhostBSD was the last survivor, that's why I have GhostBSD running. So yeah, just my recommendation for if you're a FreeBSD and you're more like a distro guy, you don't want to do all the theming and stuff like that, maybe you're not that good, as I'm not that good, then you just go for a distro, what somebody does. And I think GhostBSD, he does a good job in what he did. On the other hand, installing FreeBSD, it's fast. It's easy and fast. And now since I got the video out how to get an NVIDIA graphic card running, doesn't matter which conditions you have with source code, without source kernel source, that video will always work. And that is great because I like the idea of FreeBSD. I'm almost done with my driving instructor. I've got only 2 people are coming from a city, and they will pretend to be teenagers, and I have to train them for 2 hours and tour them around. And then I'm officially a driving instructor. Then I have to do, I think, till 34 hours team classroom teaching, will get paid for, and some procedures and how they work with their insurance system and stuff like that. So that I record everything when I do driver's ed things and like that, which is great. So now, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm in the part where I give my channel update. So that's my personal things. And before everybody puts the phone down here and is not listening to that video anymore, what would be a good driving school name? What would you call it? Awesome driving school, first class driving school. Leave some ideas, but good ideas, yeah, please. And so why do I talk about FreeBSD and my driving school? I want to have one dedicated computer where I really only do my business on. On my gaming laptop, like here, I can do my business as well, but that's a different thing. I need one computer, like if I have an accountant or something, he has to work on my computer. So I was thinking I put on Linux Mint, and you know, I have the strategy, I have at minimum 2 independent operating systems running on one computer. Just in case an update kills one, so that I don't get stuck with work when I have work to do. You know, I can fix it later. Because I share the home folder, which is nobody's home, so I don't have conflicts with XFCE and stuff like that. But I can continue where I left over at the other device, at the other operating system. So my thinking was, and I was thinking back and forward, I thought, okay, MX, I will have to give something full safe, where a Windows or Mac user can work with, because these accountants, they most of the time use Windows or Mac, which is totally scary, because it's so not safe to use that Windows, right? It might be online too, which would make things a little bit easier. Scanning, printing must work, and FreeBSD is a full-blown operating system. I can only, if I ever said something different, I don't think I did, it was in the testing phase. It does everything you need to do in office work. I haven't had games yet, because I haven't figured it out yet. I will, one day I will figure it out. I need to know how to get Linux games running, and I have to see if play on BSD does run my Toxic World of Tanks game, which is dying soon, I guess, but when it's gone, it's gone. So I was thinking having Linux Mint running on that machine, and the second would be FreeBSD. I was thinking putting FreeBSD on, because I get the scanner printer running. My browsers, if I get LastPass doesn't work, but Sergi came and said, hey Dirk, well, you know what, you fool, try Bitwarden. No, he didn't say, hey fool, you fool. But I mentioned my LastPass problem, that it didn't work, it just doesn't fire up, it doesn't let me log in, and I think it was on FreeBSD. So I struggled and I said, okay, dang it, I can't use it because I've got tons of passwords in my LastPass. And he said, give Bitwarden a try, and I will do. And I think I'll do that even after this video. Maybe I'll show it, I don't know, maybe not so important. If it doesn't work, then I bring a crying video that it didn't work and how sad it is and how bad the world is. Because I need it running. I need to have my LastPass running. On the office, I could have it not running in worst cases in my office, or I call it an office laptop, yeah? That will be where my driving school will be running. So where I have to fill out all my forms, scan, print, file, portal access online to other people's stuff, and maybe with VPN and things like that. And I thought, you know what, Linux Mint, it's if a Windows user comes, I think they can work with it. Intuitive, here everything works too. It's more stable than Ubuntu. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But it is more stable, and I must say very, very well maintained. So if somebody is looking for an absolute easy Linux system, it's Linux Mint. Oh Dirk, but why don't you make many videos about it? Because there are already many good videos out it. So I have one thing what I think nobody has done yet, because they all went a different route, but I did something, and I will make a video about that. But my wife is just coming home. She lives in a teacherage. She works in a reserve, and this time I'm not with her in a reserve, because I do my driving instructor. In spring I want to finish my pilot license, maybe. I'm running out of money, on a big money, because I wanted to buy a Prius as driving school car. But I'm a little bit short to get what I wanted, and I don't want a Prius with 240,000 kilometers down. I wanted one with 180 or 150, and I'm not there yet. I don't have the money. On the other hand, I live in a small town. I call it town, they call it city. But if you come from Europe to Canada, they call villages cities, because they have a handful of people. Nevertheless, I like the community. It's a good place to live, and I want to live here. But driving instructor in Canada, you know, everybody can train everybody, and that's why people die on the road like flies. You know, they die here, and you can just see if there's a crosswalk with some yellow lights, they have no idea what is that about. Look at this, there are lights. Be careful, no, let's the heck get out of here. Yes, you have different reaction from these people, what they do on the road. And then, I don't want to get carried away yet, but it's so, sometimes I don't know if I should laugh or cry when I see these people. When they kill each other on the road, of course, that's a sad thing, and I saw that too often. Every now and then we get a cross on the street, on the side, because somebody killed somebody because he had no time, or whatever is a very important excuse is. However, that's not the thing. So I'm not able to do my driving school. When I got the driving instructor, I will be working for that insurance, and I get a car from the insurance, and I can only do the driver's ed stuff. That means I have to do classroom teaching, and I can drive with their students from the school, but I can't train private students, so people who don't have a license or need one. So that's why I wanted to have my own car. It most likely doesn't run that well, because here in Canada everybody can teach everybody. As soon as you got a learner, then your grandfather who never made a license in his life or he drove one time around a barn and got his license for that. He's training then his grandson, and that's how the roads look like here. It's chaotic, it's dangerous, there's so immature drivers on the road, and immature in everything, character-wise, and also they have no clue. They have no clue about rules, regulation, and what they are meant for, like, and what they do to us, and why we should stay with them, you know. So for them, let's say everybody else has road signs or regulations for roads, intersections without signs. Here it is: pickup truck goes for SUV, SUV goes for sedan, and bicycle riders have nothing to do on the road. They should not be here. They can be ignored. Pedestrians, if you cross the road, good luck. Be fast, right? So these are the simple rules how everybody is driving here. Yeah. And however, so that means they're not coming for learning, because they can they just run 4 or 5 times through a test, and earlier or later they pass, because they drive the road the same track all the time, and then they try to figure out, what did I do wrong here? Don't want to learn, I just want to get my license, right? And that's how it goes. So I won't have too many students, except immigrants maybe, who come over and have to get a license here, and they are more keen to learn it properly actually, than instead of touring around and having good luck. However, nevertheless, so I'm thinking of getting my own driving school. It's scary to think about that these students drive my car and might ruin it. So, but I'm not there yet. I might have to wait a few months. The thing is, between July and August, there's no driver's ed. That means I'm not having any official business. And the job where I'm now, I kind of get scrutinized because they wanted me to sell some cleaner. Yeah, screen cleaner. I'm employed there as a tech guy to advise people and sell them some good stuff, what they need. And I do that very well. And then I got told, because I'm not selling this stupid $5 bottle with cleaner, which nobody needs. And I told them I didn't start working here as a window cleaner. I'm employed as tech guy. And I said, I'm very bad window cleaner seller, so how maybe try somebody else to let it sell. So I won't be doing it. So, and then they tried blackmailing, but blackmailing just doesn't work with me. So if they want to fire me, then fire me. I'm not doing everything somebody just says. What the heck, you know? So that would be coming to an end, what would be sad, because I kind of liked that job. And you know, the funny thing is, then a customer came and she said, "Oh, it's such a delight when you are here." Yeah, I love that. That's good feedback. That's better than your bad. So you sell this, you have to sell this, you're bad. Why didn't you do this? How is that? How is that? And then I get scrutinized every minute. Like they call something where you have to pick up. How is it with that stuff? How is it with the stuff? Oh, get the heck out of my hair, you know what I mean? Of the little I have left. So, however, so sadly this might come to an end. I would have loved to do this parallel to the driving school thing, you know. That was my intention, and that's what I'm still working on. But if I get scrutinized, then I'd rather throw the towel. I'm not anybody's slave. I'm slave of Jesus, and that's it. And that means I'm free, which is pretty cool, actually, if you think about it. However, back to the point. Yeah, so I would love to get that driving school running. It's just the area is so big. If I go and charge people a normal price and I have to drive half an hour to one place and half an hour back, I can't just charge them a normal price, right? So, but I would like to cover a big area, not just for making some money, but it has to pay for itself, because then otherwise I cannot afford to train people. So I'm not living in luxury really, but if I have a trainer car, it has to pay for itself, that I can replace it when the time comes, and not just tear and wear my stuff off and then I'm done, because I couldn't make any money. So it's not for getting me rich, it's for keeping a business running, right? So I still want to have reasonable prices. However, so that's the idea. That's why I want my computer dedicated, because I have to get an accountant most likely, and he will say, "Oh, come over and do your stuff," or I have to check things. And then if it's online, maybe he can do it on his stuff. But if I have to come with my printer and my documents and everything will be here, then I can just come with my laptop. And if I use Linux Mint or even FreeBSD, XFCE, it should be totally fine. I could also put on GhostBSD. That would be the same to me, right? Except I don't have to do the theming. However, I still have to see, I want to get my LastPass running, and if LastPass doesn't run, I think Bitwarden, it looks the same, it behaves the same, I hope it's not the same, because then I would have the same trouble, right? But I will not figure it out when I talk to you. I have to go and boot in my FreeBSD and log in and see how it goes. Yeah. So, your task is it to figure out what is my driving school called. What is a good name, a positive good name which is remembered by most of the people for a driving school. So write down your comments, let me know. Maybe awesome driving school, or driving is fun, or something like that, you know, first class driving, or something like that, you know. That would be something. If it all pays off, I have my doubts, I don't know. It could not. I have to find a way what I do in life. I have to find something. But I don't want to move into the city, because then I've got all the hustle there. Here with Plex, I said that already in the video, I'm thinking of changing something. If people start sneaking spy stuff into your home, I'm not a big fan of it. And they had a hit and power punch under the belt, because all the Plex users said, "Are you insane?" So they tried to disarm this a little bit and gave you an opt-out option for those who when it started, knew that you have to go on the website, because you cannot opt out from the program itself, which is the most crooked thing you can do, because this is just an alibi. It's not meant for people to know how to opt out when they hide it, right? So this is a crooked attempt, and I just hate crooked stuff, you know. So I might have to look in something else. I'm thinking of MB. Maybe I have to even change my whole setup and get. I mean, I have a Roku box I just bought. It's a big one, a Premiere or something. So I have to find something else, because it can't go like that. I can't have spyware on my computers and on what I watch. It's none of their business. So, yeah, but I don't want to get carried away. So I will now cut that video and upload it, and then I go and boot into my GhostBSD and check out if what was it called? If Bitwarden, which I have here, works fine on my basilisk in GhostBSD, FreeBSD. And then I'm always thinking, you know, is there a difference between GhostBSD and FreeBSD? Is there something somebody did different? Because that could be, you know, then you have different results with the same software. However, so that is the most arrogant, incompetent, overconfident company I've ever seen in my life. It was built from people who understand their business and were really good, and it has been taken over, like so often in the world, from elbow fighters I could throw up into buckets and fill buckets when I think of these creatures. But the world is full of them, and they somehow get always to the top, stepping on others and pushing them up off other people's shoulders. That's how they get up, because they have not the power to climb by themselves. They have to push other people down. However, this was not what it is about. I need a driving school name. There are less videos coming, in the moment at least, for the next week, because my wife is here and I would like to have all my attention to her. Well, she's just here for a week and then she's gone again, right? So in between Tuesday, I might be able to make another video. If not Tuesday, then I hope Wednesday. I want to make one video which I'm not giving away just yet, but I think nobody has really done that. It's nothing super special, but it's something nobody has done. At least I haven't found it yet. I found similar, but not the same. So I want to make that video. Alright. It's for me a learning curve too, because I haven't done that yet. It would be exploring while doing. But I have a rough idea how it works. So, this is it. I cut that video off. I need a driving school name. And what do you think about Linux Mint and FreeBSD on one computer? I haven't worked out yet how to read Extended 4 or anything else on FreeBSD, right? I tried to mount stuff, didn't work out and stuff like that. I could mount stuff in the terminal, but I couldn't get it running in FreeBSD in the F-step. So I might have to get some help here from RoboNoogie. that he knows how to do it, right? He's using FreeBSD and he has some plan about it. Maybe he knows how to mount in FreeBSD, in fstub, and an extended 4 or BTRFS partition. That would be cool. Robonogi, if you watch that video to the end, which I really doubt, maybe Dusk Gregor will tell you then, if you could let me know how that works, that would be great. In fstub, I mounted them on my own and it worked. But I will see. I hope you watched that video till here. So now I cut the video off. I think it's 3 minutes gone. I cannot stress enough. If you want to make tons of money in YouTube, keep your videos very short and then pump them out. Okay, this is it. I got to stop now, and because I want to know. I want to know if what's it called? Bitwarden. If that does what I wanted to do in FreeBSD, because then FreeBSD would be a very good option for me to run it on my business laptop, right? Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know, and I see you soon. Bye bye. Oh, and stay tuned. There is still some stuff coming. I just don't have the time, but I will do it. And there will be something what I think is interesting. And I said I haven't found that anybody else used that. What I did, but we will see. Okay, see you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.